Hello and welcome to Winfield's week of Rugby League, a week that saw Port Moresby travel to Sydney for a bit of a Rugby League education. They're up against Balmain in the National Panasonic Cup. We'll have all the highlights of that clash. The Saturday match of the day also between Eastern Suburbs and Manly. The Sunday State Bank big game between Canterbury, Bankstown and Cronulla. And as usual, all the highlights of each and every other game involved in another weekend of Winfield Cup football. But first of all, it was Port Moresby who made their way to Leichhardt Oval last Wednesday night. They're in for a bit of an education against the Balmain Tigers in the National Panasonic Cup as the Tigers ran riot.
Hello and welcome from Leichhardt Oval to a round one clash of the National Panasonic Cup for 1987. I'm David Ford and once again filling in for Rex Mossop, who still hasn't fully recovered from that middle ear infection he suffered last week in Newcastle in the National Panasonic Cup.
Something you'll probably expect in the first quarter in this game tonight. A lot of errors from the Port Moresby side. Just remember that Balmain, there's a lot of reserve graders out there trying to impress Billy Anderson tonight, just to remind him that they're in form and playing well and ready to jump into the spot should any of the more prominent players be out injured.
Well, here goes Bevan skirting that blind side, and he's taken in the tackle by the right winger, Sauner. He's to his feet now. Davidson with the play of the ball. It goes out to Gale. And Maguire taking play upfield, but some good defence by the 5'8" Keeler. Balmain on the attack again through Gale and Clark and then to Brooks, and he's taken in the tackle 2 or 3 metres out from the goal line at Port Moresby's end of the ground. Elias with the switch of play again to Gale, out to Maguire, back to Gale again. A chance now for Balmain. Scotty Gale darting, weaving for the line, try. So a bright start to Balmain. They open the scoring in the very first minute as the black and gold banners fly high at Leichhardt Oval, remembering they're playing on their home ground. Constant pressure from the Balmain side. Scotty Gale had a big hand in it. Just reward to the end by being there to score the try, but some very, very feeble defence. The last man to wrap him up there was Jackets, the prop forward, and Scotty Gale over for try number 1. So Ross Conlon about to convert Scotty Gale's third try of the 1987 season. Conlon was, of course, in doubt before this match started, but he's opened with a magnificent conversion attempt. So the scoreline here at Leichhardt Oval, Balmain lead Port Moresby by 6 points to 0. We've got quite a number of players, 5 in fact, that played against the Australian side for Papua New Guinea before the Australian side embarked on that tremendous march through Britain and France. There's a good run from the scrum base from now, but good cover defence from Gale. So it's Port Moresby, in fact, now with the ball on attack for the first time in this match. Hanrahan affecting the tackle. Wakisi now back towards Matt Milo. Matt Milo unloaded the pass well. And again, some solid defence. The player to his feet was Henny. Now for Kovai, little kick over the top. That's clever play. Watch for Sauner coming through here. Oh, and Humphreys came across, but he's been ruled in an offside position, and the penalty will relieve the pressure on Balmain right near their own goal line. But a ton of pace on the right wing by Wata Sauner from the Air New Guinea club in Port Moresby. There's the kick from now, high in the air. Coming across is Davidson, coming onto it is Humphreys. He took it beautifully. Grandeward Sauner got the pass away to Davidson, but good cover that time by Kororou, the lock forward, and also the assistance of Tony Keeler, the 5'8". Conlon now for Bevan, for Gale, then for Elias. That's Bevan with the ball. Long pass over the top for Grounds, took it beautifully. But the cover defence is there, and a good tackle it was by Arnold Krawanti, the young fullback for Port Moresby. Balmain still on the attack. Sinclair hitting it up off the ruck. Can't quite get to the try line. Roy Henny was the man that came over the top. Elias spinning it through Gale, then to Clark, back to Gale, and Gale taken by Keeler, the 5'8". Now Hanrahan. Not a good pass. The knock-on by Humphreys. So that's the situation. Balmain have scored 6 of those points so far. That's their lead, a 6-point lead in this first quarter. Davidson diving on the ball for Balmain and makes about 5 or 10 metres before he is wrapped up by Dowry Kovai. Ross Conlon goes into dummy half, feeds Hardwick. Charges upfield, and I'll tell you what, if they go high in the tackles against Kevin Hardwick, don't be surprised to see him slip under 1 or 2. Clark out for Bevan, running wide, support outside of Grounds. Grounds, too much pace for the cover. Great try to Balmain. So Peter Grounds with a chance in the top grade has come up with Balmain's second try, and it was purely a case of Balmain stretching this Port Moresby defence out wide, and Peter Grounds capitalising on the opportunity. Clark was the man that ran wide, then Bevan. He went on the outside of his man, Kovai. Great pace by Grounds, gave his opposite number, Soy, no chance whatsoever. And despite the cover defence of Cronulla, the four-pointer came up with Balmain. Let's wait the outcome of this attempted conversion. He's got the height, he's got the distance. Is the accuracy there? No, it's been waved away. So the scoreline in this National Panasonic Cup match, first round clash between Balmain and Port Moresby. Balmain in the lead by 10 points to 0. I just wonder, Graeme Hughes, whether they can come back into this match. Their defences look very suspect out wide, although their forwards have tackled with a great deal of determination.
The only thing they're not used to is the pace. They continue to stand back in defence. As you see the Balmain forwards run the ball up, they get to make the advantage line very, very easy. And every time they take it, David Brooks there finding himself an easy 10 to 15 metres. Again, Clark will catch the ball. They stand and wait. This gives a lot of time for Balmain just to position themselves and set up for the ball out wide, which Scotty Gale's called.
Well, here they go again on attack with Bevan. It goes out now to Conlon. Conlon's got Humphreys in the line, stretching the cover defence again. The little kick and chase. Oh, it's been lost by the fullback Cronulla, but the referee rules no try as Davidson put the pressure on. And the National Panasonic Cup replay will see Humphreys down this touchline. Good tactics, the kick and chase. Cronulla, the fullback, came across under no pressure whatsoever. He spilled it. And also Davidson spills it as well. So Scotty Gale in the dying seconds of this first quarter here at Leichhardt Oval, already enjoying that 10-point lead. Let's see what their set play will be. The ball hoisted in the air by Elias. Conlon is flying. Davidson's lost it and finally dived on. The referee says no try and blows the whistle for the end of the first quarter of this National Panasonic Cup first round class as we watch the dying seconds on the National Panasonic replay. Certainly a chance for Balmain. The ball went loose. And finally, it was the centre three-quarter, Kepi Sai, for the last moments of play in the first quarter. So Balmain on the attack again, remembering they've scored 2 tries in the first quarter. In an enterprising display, they've thrown the ball around. Here's Brooks charging upfield, centre of the ground. Takes on 3 or 4 of the defenders, led by the second-row forward, Waketsi. And he's finally put on the ground. Elias, a dummy half, goes towards the far side. Oh, look at the charge by Sinclair upfield. And he's met with a wall of defence just a metre out from the line. Elias again, a dummy half, looking for Brooks. Through the dummy, put the head down in typical fashion. Sinclair's there to lend a hand, but Elias held up just a metre out. Sinclair charging for the line. That looks as though he's been held up in goal. No try awarded. Referee Graham Annesley right on the spot. See the turnover of possession. So Port Moresby, that's the replay. Taken this time by the prop forward, Robert Jackas, who broke his arm in Lang Park last year after scoring one of the 2 tries by Port Moresby in that corresponding match last year. Roy Henney, Jackas again. Good solid defence over the top by Sinclair. Tepe to his feet. Back to now, long floating pass. Kavai left it behind, picked up by Conlon. Pass back in field for Bevan. Bevan trying to pop the pass out again. But good defence by Cotteru, the lock forward. Elias, Davidson crashed over in the corner. Third try to Balmain, and it came oh so easy so early in the second quarter. Constant pressure by the Balmain Tigers. We'll look at it again on the National Panasonic replay. Elias switching play to his wing three-quarter, and brute strength got John Davidson over in the end. It's about 2 inches in from touch on this grandstand touchline. But we've seen Ross Conlon kick so magnificently over the season. Nothing is ever beyond this man. Let's see what he can do. Probably one of the most relaxed goal kickers in the Sydney League. Let's see this attempt from touch. He struck it beautifully. Have a look at that. That is an absolute gem. And so the scoreline changes once again at Leichhardt Oval. Balmain in the lead by 16 points to 0. Henny running from dummy half, meets his opposite number, Benny Elias. And also the assistance of Sinclair. There's the kick over the top from now. putting pressure on. Will they get the kick? It's towed through this time by the 5'8" Keeler. Keeler's up over halfway, keeping it on the boil. Towed through this time by Matmilo. But finally, it's Davidson that gets back and saves the day for Balmain. Gale. Good run by Sinclair. But Henny was the man that went low. Gale out for Bevan. A chance now for Balmain to move it out wide. Bevan turned it back inside for Hardwick. Hardwick's got too much strength. He's over the line. Can he get the ball down? The referee says no try. Let's see whether or not he did get the ball down. In fact, it was good play that time by Robert Jackets, who came over the top, and finally the ball was jolted loose. Here's Sauner. Sauner up over towards halfway. Scotty Gale's pace coming in cover. He's got Soy in support. Gave the pass to Soy. He's inside the 22. Nowhere to go. And the Balmain defence converges. The man with the ball placed is Dari Kavai. He's only 20 years of age. He's played 3 test matches for Papua New Guinea. And he told me earlier today that his goal kicking hasn't been all that flash. He stabs at the ball and raises the flags. Probably not the best style of a goal kicker, but he's put first points on the board for Port Moresby. And the scoreline here at Leichhardt Oval, Balmain 16, lead Port Moresby 2. Now it's Maguire's turn to charge upfield. Pop the pass up again for Elias. He wasn't waiting for it. Finally wrestled over the far side that time by Matmilo. Clark, driven by Jackas. Gale gave it to Sinclair. Sinclair for the line, and that's another try to Balmain. Well, a beautiful pass held up, as we'll see on the National Panasonic replay. The pass held up by Scotty Gale. And Bruce Sinclair was the man that did the finishing work. Out it came from Elias. Gale showed the ball, and look at Sinclair storming onto it. Matmilo went for him. He went through Henny's tackle, also Krawanti the fullback, and just brute strength again in the end. Comes up with another Balmain try. It's kicked 2 from 3 so far. He makes that 3 from 4. So yet another change to the scoreline in this National Panasonic Cup. First round clash from Leichhardt Oval. Balmain lead by 22 points to 2. Maguire charging upfield. Again, Karuru the man with the tackle. Now Brooks, quick hands for Clark, and in turn for Sinclair. Popped it back again for Clark. Good hands for Elias. Through the dummy. Stood in the tackle for Hardwick. Balmain on the attack. Kevin Hardwick finally taken by Tepe in the tackle. Elias running from dummy half. Maguire, and a chance for Maguire, and Bruce Maguire goes over. 5th try for the Balmain side. And again, the man unloading the final pass. The man that's having a ball out there tonight, little Benny Elias. Watch it again on the National Panasonic replay. He loves this situation, Elias. And look at the power of big Bruce Maguire. Pushes through Henny's tackle, try number 5. Ross Conlon with another attempt. Can he make it 4 from 5? Oh, he's striking the ball beautifully tonight. Another goal for Ross Conlon. Balmain 28, lead Port Moresby 2. So we'll see the scrum go down, only about 5 metres out from the Port Moresby line. Balmain leading by 28 points to 2. Scrum win to Port Moresby. The scrum wheeled around by Balmain. Here's a try by Camro. Made it look so easy. Balmain wheeled the scrum, came up with possession, and the reserve grade halfback from Balmain, Peter Camro, comes up with try number 6 for the Balmain Tigers. Conlon with that characteristic little stammer before he comes in. He makes no mistake again. So 5 goals from 6 attempts for Ross Conlon. The scoreline at Leichhardt Oval, Balmain lead this match by 34 points to 2. Balmain working it again from Elias at dummy half. Taken upfield by Maguire. He's already scored a try in this match so far. Marquito was a dummy half. Here's Elias. Long kick downfield that'll bounce inside the 22. It's taken by Krawanti, the fullback. Lost the ball. Here's a chance for Balmain. Sinclair got through the tackle of Soy, got it to Davies, and an error by Port Moresby costs him another try, as Peter Davies, yet another replacement in this side, goes over for Balmain's 7th try. Ross Conlon thoroughly enjoying this performance tonight. This time he is not on target. And so the scoreline, as we look at it at Leichhardt Oval, Balmain leading this first round clash of the National Panasonic Cup by 38 points to 2. Peter Grounds taking the ball up midway between the half and the 22. That's Marquito. Busted through the tackle of the replacement player Ivara. Got the ball away to Sinclair, who takes play over the halfway. Here's Elias showing the ball, lacking support, stood the 5'8" Keeler up, got the pass away to Grounds. Grounds with Trawanti to beat, but a good saving tackle by the Port Moresby fullback. Bumps the Balmain winger into touch inside the 22. So scrum feed by Moala now. Referee Annesley not happy with the feed. Handling errors, 13. That's not a good statistic for Balmain. Oh, that's a great little run by Kovai. Conlon pulled him down, picked up by Keeler. Finally, it's out on the wing to the right winger, Sauna. He's up over the 22. Sauna close to the line. Desperate defence by Balmain. Now a dummy half. Pass outside this time to Kovai. A stepping run by the centre three-quarter from Port Moresby. Unloaded it to now again. He had the support of Cottaru, but went on his own and taken in the tackle by Hardwick. Kovai, long pass. Oh, and nearly the intercept. Picked up this time by Tepp, the prop forward. Finally out to Soy, and he spilled it. Marquito a dummy half. Balmain still on the attack. Elias hung onto it, got it away to Sinclair. Searching for his second try. Benny Elias. Threw the pass again for Conlon. Nowhere to go. Unloaded the pass again for Elias. Balmain keeping the ball alive. Elias came to Kovai. And finally that Balmain movement is impeded by the Port Moresby defence. Sinclair from dummy half, searching for try number 2. He's over. Under the post. So finally that defence had to break again. And Bruce Sinclair comes up with his second try of the night as we watch it on the National Panasonic replay. And the conversion attempt makes the score 44 points to 2 here at Leichhardt Oval. Henny was the man, the dummy half, playing it back this time. That's the replacement forward, Midudu. Loss of possession, dived on this time by Paul Bevan. Balmain on the attack through Marquito. That's Hardwick. Again, some solid defence by the little halfback now. Elias, a dummy half. Camro, Elias, through the dummy, burst through some feeble defence. Benny Elias set sail for the line. And a try this time by Peter Camro, backing up, scoring try number 2, the little halfback, since he came on for Scotty Gale. But again, let's give full credit to little Benny Elias, who's having a field day out there. We see Camro Elias work the double play here, the dummy, and watch for the great support play again on the inside by Camro. Unselfish play by the Balmain hooker to allow the halfback to score his second try in this match.
When Benny Elias shows the football, the defensive line's got to go right in and meet him. You just can't hold back because he's going to lay those tries on. And another try there for Balmain, this time converted by Benny Elias.
Well, you can tell Benny's the captain out there. Claimed the conversion attempt straight away. Nolan now, again a dummy half. They come on the open side, taken up this time by the second row forward, Matt Milo, and he's met in a great tackle by Clark and also by Camro. Tepp out now for now. Keeler, Kovai, lovely pass from the fullback. Trawanti, here's a chance as Sai speeds upfield. Sai stood the fullback up. Here's the try thereafter. Tremendous try by Port Moresby, and the crowd here at Leichhardt Oval warm to their great attacking skill. Well, it's worth looking at on the National Panasonic replay. And full marks to the great finishing by Sai. It came across with now to Keeler, to Kovai. The fullback Trawanti came in the line. And look at the way that Kepi Sai stands the fullback. Humphreys up, steps back inside, shows a clean pair of heels. Sinclair tried to mow him down. Great try.
Great hands out in the back line. A line ball pass there to Sai that put him into the clear. He had all the room in which to work in. He had Humphreys on the wrong foot, and he showed a great step there to get around his man, and plenty of pace, as Scott Gale was saying all night. They've got plenty of pace out wide.
And while we've been looking at the National Panasonic replay, Dari Kovai kicks his second goal of the night, and all of a sudden, 50 points to 8. So the scrum feed inside the Port Moresby 22. Camro got the pass back for Bevan. Is this another Balmain try? Referee Graeme Hughes points to the spot, and Paul Bevan comes up with his first try of the night, and Balmain's 10. On the National Panasonic replay, Camro went wide, got inside Keeler, and Bevan showed good anticipation. He comes to the fullback. Once again, Kururu was there, the lock forward, but the referee honestly rules fair try.
And a very quick feed there and heel by the Balmain forwards, and Camera showing plenty of pace out of the scrum base position there. Bevan backing up well. He did well to take 2 tacklers across the line, and we now see Benny Elias adding the extras once more.
Benny Elias, 2 goals from 2 attempts, and it's 56 points to 8 with Balmain in the lead.
Great experience for them tonight. They'll certainly take home some memories. They just love to play open rugby league, and they certainly enjoy their football. And a lot of errors coming into the game in this last 2 or 3 minutes as players, especially the Balmain players, I would be thinking, counting down the last few minutes.
Here goes Kevin Hardwick. Makes inroads into the Port Moresby defence. They're all queuing up for the tries. Benny Elias would love one. Finally, it's back for the replacement player, John Owens. And that's another try, the 11th for Balmain. And would you believe it, when you look in the National Panasonic replay, the man that unloaded the final pass again was none other than the Balmain captain, Benny Elias. But the early work was done by Hardwick. He made big inroads into the Port Moresby defence. They were queuing up here. Bevan was there, Elias was there. Elias got the pass, changes the direction again with the dummy. He found a willing support in John Owens, and another Balmain try. So Johnny Owens scoring Balmain's 11th try. There's Elias's kick, and he swung it back beautifully. Benny Elias, what a game he's had. Full time in the first round clash of the National Panasonic Cup. 62 points to 8. Balmain running in 11 tries to 1. A superb performance, and I'm sure that the Port Moresby side will go back just wondering what went wrong tonight.
The Saturday match of the day saw the Manly Sea Eagles trying to put up their first win in the last month of Winfield Cup football. Unfortunately for the Sea Eagles, they were again going to finish the game with only 12 men, but their win over Eastern Suburbs last Saturday was a show of real courage.
So Manly with a chance. They're only 22 metres out from that Eastern Suburbs line as it comes from Hasler. Away it comes from Cochrane to Vorton. Vorton's pass goes to Lyons. Quick hands goes to Williams. Now it goes to Close. Close for the line. Close gets through. Close will score. And the big man's in. Try to Manly. Manly lead 4-0.
That was a great try. Beautiful work there. And you can put that down to the linking qualities of the New Zealander Williams coming through. You also saw the captain here, Hugh McGann, miss a tackle. Now, I said that they're getting the ball out wide. Notice the forwards aren't coming into it until late. Vorton and Lyons, what a beautiful pass out to the fullback. Now, watch the strength of Close. Now, you don't miss many McGann, but he missed that one and went straight through. That really was. Now, watch for the fullback. This is tremendous positioning. Out to the forward, skirting out. There you see Williams. Beautiful ball from Lyons. He drew the man. Look at the strength here. He's running through. Worth has to take the decision. He did the right thing. McGann had him, but missed him. A great try.
And Chris Close's first try of the season, and thanks to the fall guy, Darryl Williams.
And Eastern Suburbs already have missed 6 tackles, and if Chris Close doesn't do anything else today, I think Bob Fulton will say, I'm glad that Michael O'Connor pulled out at the last minute, because that was a try that only a man of his size probably would have scored. I don't think I'm being unfair to Mick O'Connor. I think Mick would have tried to draw the man and throw the pass.
Yeah, it was definitely the strength that helped him through there, but very surprising, David, that the cover defence of McGann, which has been superb this season, he went high instead of going low. Paid the penalty.
So here's Cochrane. He's going to have the shot at goal because O'Connor isn't there. Moves in, and it's going away to the left of the uprights. So no goal. Eastern Suburbs bring the ball back to the centre of the halfway for the restart. They've had all the play so far, but they've only scored the 1 try. Manly with the ball. About 8 metres out. The ball's played. It goes to Cochrane. On it goes to Gibbs. And Gibbs can't offload the pass. Cochrane in a dummy half. It goes one way. Coming down the centre is Williams, and Williams has got within a couple of metres of that Eastern Suburbs line. Cochrane, Hasler, away it comes from Lyons. Lyons throws the dummy, does the pirouette, sends the ball back, picked it up close. Basketball over the top. Shearer comes back inside one, away from another. Shearer still going. Back it goes to Lyons. Lyons going to get his pass away. Yes, Hasler for the line. Hasler still going, and Hasler's chopped down only 8 metres out. Manly trying to keep this ball alive and doing a good job of it. The ball's played. Lyons from dummy half. It goes to Vaughton. Vaughton throws the dummy, shows the ball. Vaughton will score. Vaughton's in. Well, that was feeble Eastern Suburbs defence. Vaughton threw more dummies than you'd find in a chemist shop. He showed the ball. They just hung off him, and he left them hanging out to dry like last week's washing.
Now watch this. 1 dummy, 2 dummies, 3 dummies. Whoops, I've missed it. In it goes. And a great try. And that all comes about by keeping the ball alive. It was good support play here, but that left Vaughton there. He threw one out. Bad play by Melrose. And a poor attempt by Tessman to stop him, and Worth couldn't hold him.
And Paul Vaughton's first try of the season. Interesting to note there that Tony Melrose was screaming his lungs out for defenders to come out wide, and none of them did. It was 4 Manly against 2 Easts.
And in the end, they didn't need the other players, Manly, because Vaughton did it all on his own.
Certainly did, and couldn't agree with you more, Hans. So I think you'll find that the centres is a big problem for the Eastern Suburb. French and Melrose have been into sort of changing, and it's causing a lot of confusion.
Might go back down to the sideline in just a moment to Ian Hansen, as Cochrane with the opportunity to try and convert the Vaughton try, moves in, there's the kick, he's got it. Manly leading Eastern Suburbs by 10 points to 0. Let's go to the sideline, Ian Hansen.
Yes, David, very interesting piece down here. Dale Shearer's just had a massage on his shoulder, but the Manly trainer asked him if he needed a pain-killing injection, and Shearer said no. That was just before that attacking movement which led to Vaughton's try.
I think there's another Eastern Suburbs player off. Is there? Gary Worth is actually leaving the field, I think. I noticed that Portlock's back on there.
That's exactly right. He's back on, I'd say, be off for the match now. He's being assisted off the field by the trainer. A very forlorn figure too.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Hans. So I think that it showed to his coach, Arthur Beats, and Worth's attempt on Vaughton was all at sea. And if the guy is suffering from it, there's no point in keeping him out there.
So there's the restart from Melrose. Down towards the goal line. It's gathered in by Williams. Williams runs it back towards the quarter line. Oh, don't argue. He's lost the ball. He might have come off best in the exchange in the clash, but he's lost the ball, and so Eastern Suburbs get a chance to go on the attack immediately. Melrose back in amongst those forwards. They're desperate at the moment, each for a converted try. They've got to get back into the game. And now that's Tessman going straight down the centre. They've been pretty consistent this year, Eastern Suburbs, so don't write them off yet. And going from dummy half again is Truella. That's a good tackle. Great tackle from Brokenshire. The ball comes out to Spina. Now it goes across to Sherlock. Back it goes to Spina, and down the centre comes McGahn. That was pretty well signalled, though. McGahn, easy meet in the end. 12 metres out. Last tackle against the Roosters. Spina's kick is high in the air. It's coming down in the end goal area. Going high is Williams. He was tackled without the ball. Good decision from the referee. There was no doubts about that. Williams was actually tackled without the ball before the ball arrived. Let's have a look at this.
Well, here you see Williams going for it, and the Eastern Suburbs player had the arms well and truly round the fullback before he made contact with the ball. Good decision by referee Stone.
Look at that. Manly have received 5 penalties to East. None so far in the match.
Well, put a smile on Bobby Fulton's face.
Makes it hard for Eastern Suburbs, though, if you keep giving away penalties. And Ian was pointing out earlier, though, the penalty count last week was very much against them, against Parramatta. Yet they managed to get out of it. But they're down 10-0 here at the moment. And Manly have the ball just out from their own quarter line. Brokenshire taking it down the centre. He doesn't get the ball away too often, Brokenshire, but nearly every time he gets the ball, he gains about 10 metres. Vaughton's pass out wide. Oh, Shearer's taken in a very high tackle. but I think he's been hurt more on that shoulder, which he's been carrying for most of the match. I think Dale Shearer is going to be replaced here.
Well, it collided with French, and I think you'll find that more of an accidental elbow. That was an awful pass. Now, if ever you want to take it straight through to St. Vincent's, that was it. Oh, dearie me. He's been in the wars as Shearer. Now, watch this. Oh, whooshka. And yes, you'll see that it's an accidental elbow. He was going for the ball, was French. He had his back turned to the player. So I don't think there was any real intent behind it, David.
And there's Shearer. He seems a lot better now anyway. I thought just for a moment the way he landed that it was more, he was more in agony from his shoulder than perhaps the knock that he received at all.
Yeah, you can see it there, David, that it was an awful pass. Well, they're the sort of whooshkas, David, you don't need.
Well, he's been in the wars today, Dale.
Oh, he's a tough boy. They gave him plenty.
And Graham Roberts just pointing out to me, Steve, that he so far have had to effect 82 tackles and Manly only 46. And of course, they've had the penalties, what, 6-0, I think, Manly's way. So that's Shearer. Beautiful pass away, but close, can't handle it. Otherwise, the big man was like a Mack truck. He would have run 50 metres and scored.
He certainly would, and I'll tell you something now. For a man that's got a bad shoulder and the marble spinning round in his head, that was a great pass. And Chris Close, you naughty little boy. That should have been a try.
Tell you what, if he'd taken it, I wouldn't have put any money on John Tobin coming across in cover and bringing the big man down. He was like a runaway truck when he came onto that ball.
He was in top gear.
It's probably been the only thing that's held back Chris Close's career over his since he's been in Sydney, his handling. Now prone. That's French again. He's always been a bit suspect in the handling area. Now going from dummy half is Morris in off the other wing. He plays it. So Eastern Suburbs about 30 metres out from that Manly line. Morris. Away it goes to Spina. Spina on his own. He's got the pass away to Tasman. Tasman down the centre. That was good defence from Manly. There's a player who's almost out cold there. I think he's been involved in a bit of a head crash. Desi Hasler, when he effected that ball and all tackle. Manly have come up with it. Hasler back on his feet. As he came at Tasman, it was a good tackle from Hasler. He had to try and take him ball and all.
Well, it was ball and all, David, but a little bit too high, and I think the clash of heads, when you get someone like Tasman running at you, boy, get out of the way, go low. Don't try to go high on the guy like that.
Manly with the ball. That's Shearer. And Shearer holding that ball with his right arm, which is the one that has been injured throughout the match. So he seems to be getting better as the match goes on anyway. As Manly run it up through Barkley. Ian Barkley tackled about 40 metres out now, or 35 metres out, let's say, from that Manly line. The ball comes back to Vaughton. Vaughton is going to put the kick in. Up over the halfway line it goes. Down it goes towards Portlock. Portlock running it back to the halfway. There's a lot of Manly players up there, but they weren't up in a straight line. There were plenty of gaps for Portlock to go through then.
Well, the big problem there, David, was that Vaughton didn't kick towards the touchline. They were all converging on the right-hand touchline. The ball went askew, straight down the throat of Portlock.
Eastern Suburbs are running it back inside Manly's territory through Tasman, the prop forward, as he struggles to his feet. He plays it to Truella. Now it comes across from Spina back to Gilmeister to Spina. Away it comes now towards Sherlock. And Sherlock's going to be held up about 8 metres inside Manly's territory again. Gilmeister in a dummy half. Away it comes to McGahn. Back it goes towards the little halfback and Laurie Spina. 11 metres inside Manly's territory. And now he's lost the ball, and this is going to be a penalty.
Well, the smile says it all. The crowd says it all. They're not going to convince the referee, Mick Stone. He's given the penalty. And these are going to be 2 vital points for the Roosters. They really haven't had possession long enough to settle into any game plan. They've been really put under pressure by Manly since the kick-off. And this will give them a chance and an opportunity to at least get themselves organised. Believe you me, they have to do it.
But Steve, in the last couple of weeks, it's been quite obvious the referees are cracking down on this play the ball. You're just not allowed to carry on with a tackle or hold a man down. There's just no way they're going to tolerate it, and players just keep doing it. You just can't understand it.
Well, some players keep doing it, Hansel, and I hate to say it, you usually find it's the forwards. Not that I'm saying they haven't got brains.
But you are qualified to speak on the subject.
I thought you might come back with that one.
And Melrose, a chance to put Eastern Suburbs' first points on the board. That was Eastern Suburbs' first penalty. 29 minutes they had to wait to get it. As Melrose moves in, there's the kick. It's high in the air, but it's missed. And in fact, he hasn't even kicked it dead, so Manly will run the ball back with Williams up to the quarter line. He's got plenty of height, plenty of distance. Alas for Eastern Suburbs, he was Australia. Pocock's tackled by Gilmeister, just outside the Manly quarter line. Going from dummy half is Cochrane. He's got it back to Pocock. Oh, he had all sorts of troubles, but it's been knockbacks. There's the referee, and Hasler gains another few metres. Hasler will get up and play it just inside Manly's territory. It comes to Lyons to Gibbs. Oh, Gibbs wasn't expecting that. It finished up with Vaughton. Last tackle against Manly. See, Vaughton felt that. Look at this. Very slow to get to his feet. It's a solid tackle. Lyons gets his kick in way over the touchline on the full. In fact, it almost collected Ian Hansen on the sideline. Scrum will go down midway half and quarter line inside Manly's territory, back towards the centre of the field. This will be a penalty. It's against Manly.
Well, Cochrane never made any attempt to get the head in, and he's the guy that instructs his two props when to go in, so he's the man at fault. And I'm sure their coach Arthur Beetson will be very, very pleased now that they can at least make an assault on the Manly line. They've been very rare, and in fact I think it's about the only third time that they've been in the Manly quarter.
Truella to take the second kick. Tessman, the work move, sees Tessman just do a little pirouette and go straight down the centre. 11 metres out. Truella, that's Tobin. He'll get up and play the ball. In fact, the referee is going to call timeout. Tobin down on the ground injured. He doesn't look too happy, does he?
No, he looks to be grabbing the right knee. There's an awkward tackle as he went down.
Well, there's the earlier results this afternoon. Eastern Suburbs go back to the top of the table in under-23s by virtue of that victory over Manly. And they're also far too convincing in the reserve grade encounter. Of course, Parramatta, the only undefeated side in any grade in this year's Winfield Cup competition. Their under-23 side could win tomorrow, and therefore they would take the lead back off East.
Well, Eastern Suburbs really have been trying to use their forwards, David, and I think they'd be far better, well, to get the ball out wide.
And Tobin's not too well, that right knee. He missed Millie all of last year. I think he only played 5 games last year in 1986. So let's have a look.
Well, he goes in here. He's sort of twisted round in the tackle. Now, it's awkward there. There you've seen him going around. Oh, dearie me. That's not healthy.
He's having trouble staying on his feet at the moment. He's going to play the ball. Referee signals time back on. Taking it up as Tessman. Tobin is just standing there.
Well, they should do something, David, about that.
Now it comes out wide to Gilmeister. It's picked up there by Sherlock. He almost used it, the injured player as a shepherd then. Going from dummy half is McGahn. McGahn's got within a couple of metres of that Manly line. Eastern Suburbs, the last tackle. Now can they score a try here? Into dummy half is Truella. Truella sends the way, it goes towards Sherlock. Sherlock's kick comes off the hands of Lyons. It's loose, and diving on the ball is another Eastern Suburbs player, and the referee says 6 to go as McGahn plays it to Truella. Now it goes to Gilmeister, and Gilmeister will get up and play it. Only a couple of metres out from that Manly line. He's still on the attack. Truella, away it comes now towards Johnston. Johnston almost there. He's lost the ball. The ball's loose on the ground. In fact, it should be a knock on both ways. I don't think the referee saw the other little one from Williams. It definitely happened, though. Williams dead set knocked it on as well.
Certainly did, David, but Johnson, the prop forward, took the wrong option there. He stepped back inside. He should have sent the ball out wide. Now, there you see him step inside here. This is where he loses the ball. There's a little knock on there by the fullback, but
See,
he really
there it is.
he really had players outside him. That's a wasted chance.
Now Hasler from dummy half. Someone should give Desi another pair of sprigs. I think he slipped over a couple of times today and slipped over a couple of times at Endeavour last Monday. Vorton's kick up over the halfway. Getting underneath it is Portlock. Portlock running it back across the halfway. And good run from the fullback. He gained a good 11 metres inside Manly's territory. Into dummy half as Prome. They bring it out this side of the field through Spina, and now it goes to Milrose. Props. Back it goes to Spina. Spina sends the pass away. There's no one running onto the ball. Portlock found another support in Tessman. Now it goes to McGann. Back it goes to Sherlock. They're running round in circles. Gilmeister. His pass comes away towards Tobin. He's recovered pretty quickly, and he's down to the quarter line. Good tackle from Gibbs. This will be a penalty. Has to be a penalty. Now, the blind Freddie would have seen that. And there's just... Let's go down to the sideline. Ian Hansen.
Thanks, David. I saw East play last week against Parramatta, and it's not far from the same team. They look flat. They're not running forward. They're looking for places to pass the ball, not running straight ahead. It's quite surprising, actually.
Certainly is, Hanso, and quite frankly, they need a player on the paddock similar to Kevin Hastings. They look all at sea. As much as I admire Laurie Spina, he really hasn't got that linking qualities. And quite frankly, I also feel that this Kurt Sherlock is a lot to learn in the game, and he's been snuffed out today.
But it was last week. It was Spina who sparked East, and he was really the difference.
Yeah, he's amazing. He just seems to hang on to the ball far too long for me, Hanso.
Well, here's Melrose anyway, just outside that 22-metre line. The chance to put Eastern Suburbs on the scoreboard anyway. Moves in. There's the kick. And he's got it. 2 points to Eastern Suburbs. And that'll certainly lift the Roosters' spirits. Manly leading by 10 points to 2. Pocock's going to get up and play it. Down on the quarter line, Cochrane, away it goes from Hasler. It went on to Gibbs, and Gibbs running hard. They've looked after Ronnie Gibbs pretty well this afternoon, the Eastern Suburbs defence, but he's had a mighty season so far for the Sea Eagles. As Lyons gets it, back it comes to Shearer. Shearer running across field. He brushed away one. He's thrown a pass that is absolutely stupid, and Manly, East's got a chance. The ball comes the way towards Milrose. Milrose tackled from behind, and good defence by Williams. And he's not allowed to get up and play it. That could have almost been a penalty. Batiste sends it away to Morris. Morris running across field. Morris trying to link up. He does well. The ball goes from Madison to McGann up over the quarter line. And the big second row is going to get up and play it. Only about 17 metres out from Manly's line. Morris, it goes to Madison again, and away it comes to Portlock. Now it goes on from Sherlock. Away it goes towards Gilmeister. And Gilmeister will get up and play it. Only 12 metres out. Gee, that could have been a penalty. He's pretty lucky to get away with that, I think, Cliff Lyons.
Well, I think referee Mick Stone did the right thing. Manly were on the rack. They would have only complained if it had been a quick play of the ball and they'd have scored a try. He gave them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, he could have given a penalty. No two ways about it. But look at Manly. They're in no man's land. They're taking all the time in the world to get themselves organised in defence. And yes, Lyons was at fault. But Stone said, play on. That's what the crowd want to see. That's what the players want.
Well, one would think it'll finish up being a penalty here to Eastern Suburbs right in front. Both the touch judges on. He's sent him off. Lyons has been sent off. Cliff Lyons has been sent off. And that, no doubt, will be for the second tackle. Now, you saw him push Gilmeister to the ground. But when he came in for the second tackle, that's what the touch judges have been on the report. And so for the third week in a row, Manly have to play a fair portion of the match with only 12 men. Phil Daly sent off a fortnight ago against Souths. They had Hasler sin binned at a vital stage of the match against Cronulla last Monday. And now Lyons sent off in the opening minutes of the second half. Vorton can't believe it. Here it is again now. He pushes him to the ground. Now, there we are. The referee said play it. Now, that's what he's been sent off for.
Using the right elbow. Well. Let's hope that Bobby Fulton, someone's writing his script. Maybe he'll have a few words to say to referee Mick Stone. But he can talk until the cows come home. Well, he can't get away from the fact that he did drop with his elbow, and that is stupidity.
Here's Melrose, the kick from right in front. He's got it. And so Eastern Suburbs are back in business. Manly leading East by 10 points to 4. That penalty goal kicked by Tony Melrose. Into dummy half as Cochrane. Cochrane running across field, got it away to Pocock.
Change here for Manly. Martin Meredith coming on, the experienced utility back. And I gather it's for Dale Shearer.
So Gibbs plays the ball. Cochrane out wide. It comes now to Vaughton. Vaughton gets to within 12 metres of that Eastern Suburbs line. I wonder whether they'll try the field goal as Hasler goes on his own, and Hasler's held up right in front of the sticks. So they're going to have a go at field goal. This will be the place to do it, and this will be a penalty, so they'll have a shot at goal instead. Well,
McGowan talking to referee McStone, and the little hooker, David Truella. There he is. He's the man that gave away the penalty. Wasn't too impressed by it. But we keep repeating it. These referees, they've been told, do not interfere with a man after he's been called to play the ball.
As the crowd cheers. Ian Barkley, I think, has left the field. I'm not sure. We'll get something from Ian Hansen in just a moment.
Yeah, that's a major shock. Ian Buckley being taken off. I thought it would have been Shearer, but Meredith's on the field, and he can certainly put some ginger into the Manly attack.
Certainly can, Hanso, and I think that a good move by the coach, Bob Fulton. I think that with Meredith out there, he may be able to calm things down a little bit and stop this passing. He's a pretty shrewd customer. He's been at Manly for many, many years. A good servant to the club.
In fact, he's their development officer, of course.
Certainly is, and what better way for a development officer than to steer them through to a win this afternoon.
So here's Mal Cochrane from almost in front, the chance to send the Eagles away by 8. There's the kick, it's there, and Manly are leading Eastern Suburbs 12 points to 4. Truella takes the second kick, and that's Morris. He's going to get up and play at about 37 metres out from Manly's line as Truella's pass goes away from Melrose. It goes from Spooner, and now it's with Sherlock, and Sherlock's going straight down the centre. Crashed into the ground. Gibbs has hurt himself as he tried to bring off a big hit then. Down the centre comes Gilmeister. Gibbs is down and out at the moment.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me, David, because he's pulled off some really big crunch tackles today.
As Truella takes to the head, and the hooker from Eastern Suburbs gets it away. Now it goes to Portlock, and Portlock will score. The Roosters are back in business.
Boy, oh boy, don't the hookers love doing that. And that was good support play. Just what the doctor ordered. Oh, a smile on the face. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Well, they've got time. There's 16 minutes of this match remaining. Beautiful run here. Now watch the pass here. Straight through to the hooker. Madison made it through first. The hooker gets it away very well. Spina did right here. Good backing up.
Portlock goes in.
Beautiful try by the Portlock. And he's played very well. This is from behind, head-on shot. Good play here by Madison. He was pulled on, he was brought on to inject some incitement. Certainly has done. Good play by the hooker. Spina in support. And Portlock, well, since he came on for the injured Gary Worth, has certainly made an impact.
So here's the shot from Melrose from right in front. He's got the extras, and they're back in business well and truly here, the Roosters. There's quarter of an hour left in the match, and Manly are leading by just 2 points. Manly 12, Eastern Suburbs 10. Ron Gibbs has been receiving attention, for almost 3 minutes, and he still doesn't look well. He's not a well man at all, although he's starting to get hold of some of that water into the system. And Portlock, which scored the try, signed from North Sydney in 1985.
Well, it amazes me, this man on your screen. Boy, he gets through some work.
He doesn't know where he is. He's in Disneyland. And big crushers coming on. Listen to the applause this man gets when he goes onto the field.
Well, don't they need him, David?
Penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs. Ron Gibbs coming off. But there he is. Noel Cleal. Welcome back to first grade Crusher. broke his arm in one of the last games of the Kangaroo Tour. It was certainly Noel's last game against Hull on a rather cold Sunday afternoon. He's had a lot of trouble with that broken arm, and you'll notice at some stage you'll find it very heavily taped up with black masking tape, the right forearm. He's had a pin put in it. He got through the reserve grade game, and can he keep Manly ahead in this game?
Well, he's certainly got to bounce back to his top form, David, because Eastern Suburbs are throwing everything at them now.
East with the ball, and they've lost it, and Hasler's got it for Manly. And Hasler's down injured. Another replacement coming on for Eastern Suburbs.
He's down on the sideline is that Noel Cleal is on for Gibbs, only for 10 minutes for the head bin, and the replacement for East is David Smith, and he's on for 5'8" Kurt Sherlock.
Now taking it up as Cleal, and Cleal tries to bust them up on the edge of the ruck. He's down to the quarter line, gets up, plays it, Cochrane, pass goes away towards Broken. Shearer just tucks the ball under his arm, goes straight down the centre of the ruck. Now they're going to have another attempted field goal here, Manly, or they're just going to keep it safe as Cochrane sends it away. It goes to Vaughton. Vaughton goes straight down the centre again. Last tackle against Manly. Well, they've gone straight to the goalpost every time. Now, what are they going to try here, Manly? They're going the open side with Hasler. The pass comes out to Shearer. Shearer's pass is knocked backwards, then it's picked up again by Shearer, who puts the ball high in the air. It's coming down right on the goal line. Portlock takes it superbly. Not much pressure, but he kept his eye on the ball continually, and it's a penalty, and it's against Ronson for being offside.
Well, the pressure's well and truly on, but good play by Wayne Portlock. Scrappy play by Manly. Puts the ball up here. Now you see the fullback in a perfect position, and also the referee, Johnny, on the spot. But Manly still hanging on to that 2-point lead, 12-10.
What a game Paul Vaughton's having, the Manly skipper. The way he's going today, Wayne Bennett, the Queensland coach, having strapped back in the State of Origin team.
And he's been playing like that for most of the season. He's had a big season so far, Fortin, as Spina finds a bit of room, and now it's with Tasman. Back it goes to Madison. He's gone without it. Cochrane's got it for Manly. Now it's with Shearer. Shearer up to the halfway. Shearer tries the chip and chase. It's on between McGahn and Shearer and the ball. McGahn wins the race. McGahn falls on it for Eastern Suburbs. 10 metres out from his own line and a couple of metres in from the grandstand touchline.
That was a brave move by Shearer then. I thought they would have gone for the time wasting.
And now Spina's got the ball in the end goal area. Good work from Noel Cleal initially, and then good support play. Up there quickly lending the support was Martin Meredith to ensure that Spina was caught and tackled in the end goal area, and so play will restart with the line dropout. McGahn down injured when he fell on that loose ball after Shearer's kick. And that's one of the reasons why Dale Shearer's in the Australian side. A little spark like that which can, or could have so quickly changed the game. Now Ticehurst gets it. Ticehurst almost back to the quarter line. Into dummy half as Meredith. It goes away now towards Williams.
He's another player on the Manly side that's played well this afternoon. He's linked well, tackled well, and he's taken a lot of pressure off the forwards there, as is that man there, Des Hasler. When does this man stop?
Vaughton from dummy half. A pass got away towards Pocock, which looks suspiciously forward. Now it's gone back to Shearer. Shearer on the outside of McGahn. He's still going. He throws the dummy. Can't get his pass away. Yes, he can to Ticehurst, but it's a penalty. Passing off the ground, the referee is indicating. Well, he's indicated that he asked Shearer to play the ball.
No, I think it was the last tackle there, David. He just threw it away with the hope that it may have just bounced in. That was good play, and it's fitting and rewarding to think that we saw the three players involved there, Shearer, Hasler and Vaughton, in that last passage of play. They've had great games.
And Ron Gibbs is back to the sideline as Tasman goes down the centre. He's tackled there by Pocock. 41 tackles Eastern Suburbs have missed so far this afternoon, but they're still in the ball game. Spina back towards the halfway line. Manly 12, East 10. We've got 7 minutes left in the match. As Truilla takes it back across the halfway line. Cleal comes off. Gibbs comes back on. Now Morris Out wide it goes to French, and French looking back on the inside. He finds Spina. He's got it away to Melrose. Melrose out wide. The ball's gone loose, but they've still got it. No, they haven't. Manly have got it. Diving on it was Park. Thornton goes from dummy half.
Well, we've only 7.5 minutes remaining, David. You can't blame the Roosters for trying to keep the ball alive.
Manly 12, Eastern Suburbs 10.
They've got to take the odds. Keep the ball alive. They realise that they'll be happy if they can get into a position, maybe get the penalty. 1 point will do them very well in the Premiership table. A draw at Brookvale Oval is well worth going away with.
Well, no one's left the game yet. This crowd has stayed here throughout the afternoon and have enjoyed a great game here on Anzac Day. Now, time back on, says the referee. Manly take the ball back through Williams.
Well, it's certainly fitted the day, David. There's been some players out there showed a lot of guts and effort.
And there's Gibbs.
He's one of them.
Away it goes to Hasler. Meredith moves into dummy half. Out wide it comes towards Shearer. Shearer's going to kick. Down over the quarter line. Portlock coming across. Portlock will gather it in. Now there's a wall of Manly Guernseys up there, and it's Hasler. Hasler who again affects the tackle. Gee, I wish I had a greyhound like Desi Hasler. You can take it to Wentworth Park or Harold Park and it'd win every week the way he chases.
The way he keeps moving, you couldn't keep him in the box, Dave.
No, true. As soon as the lid spring open, he'd be out and pounce on the hair very quickly. Just outside the quarter line. Eastern Suburbs with the ball. They've got to take it down the other end. Taking it down the centre is McGahn. McGahn taken in good defence though. Right round the bootlaces by Ronson. Away it comes this time to Gilmeister. Gilmeister's pass out wide is gathered and then knocked on by French. And across there again doing the cleaning up was Hasler. Hasler's been knocked to the ground. He got a very heavy knock in the head and lost the ball as a result. And so the ball will come back to the halfway. He got a very heavy knock there. You'll see this. Hasler again doing the cleaning up work, as you see.
Now watch his face, David. Watch his face here. Near exhaustion, saying, oh, not again. And he caught one for his, well, right round his jaw. He's done 24 tackles, that guy. I don't know what they pay him here at Manly, but he deserves double.
He caught one in the mush and then a knee in the face as well after that, just for good measure.
And now he's going to get up and put the ball in the scrum. In it goes. They're being pushed off the ball, but they've still got it, Manly, as Meredith is tackled by Melrose, who the referee has ruled offside.
Well, even your closest relative doesn't get that near to you, David.
Well, penalties favouring Manly, 14-8. Noel Clewell back on the field. That's Broken Shear, the prop, who's come off. So I'm just wondering what they do. Crusher go up and play front row, I suppose he can for a little while.
He won't like it, but he'll have to.
Ticehurst. Cochrane, and there's Clewell, and Clewell goes straight down the centre of that ruck. He's tackled on the quarter line. Gibbs. Into dummy half is Cochrane. That's Meredith. Oh, he almost got through then. Hasler into dummy half. Hasler on his own. Hasler still going. Williams at dummy half. It comes to Vaughton. That grubber kick along the ground. It's loose. Clewell! Clewell scores! Pushes in! Welcome back to Brookvale as Clewell scores the try that will give Manly the 2 points.
It was lady luck, but you make your own luck in rugby league these days. The kick by Vaughton came off an Eastern Suburbs player. 2 Manly players went into it, but I'll tell you something now, no one's going to take away that try. Here you see the kick. Vaughton ricochets the ball against. Off it comes off McGann. And they both go for it. And it was Pocock and Cleel. But believe you me, not one person in this crowd is going to say that Pocock scored the try. It's gone to the club captain, Noel Cleel.
I wonder who got there first, but the way pressure is, there's no way that Pocock's going to be allowed to claim it.
And they know it.
The smiles say it all. Thornton and Cleel back across the halfway line. One's the club captain, the other is the captain of the side today. And that will certainly bring a smile to all of the Manly supporters. That try will seal the victory. Well, it should, because Cochrane has a fairly easy attempted goal from right in front of the sticks just about. As you can see, just to the left, 11 metres out. Not long left in the match. But if they get away by 8 points, East can't bring that back. Here's Cochrane. And he's got it over. And so Manly are leading by 18 points to 10. They haven't given up, the Roosters. Morris in a dummy half. The pass fired across from Melrose. It goes now towards Spina. Now it goes on towards the prop forward. That's Tessman. He's going to get up and play it. A few metres out. McGann from dummy half. The pass comes from Gilmeister. Gilmeister with strength and determination. He's almost got there. Last tackle against the Roosters. Spina at dummy half. It's with McGann. McGann puts the kick through onto the ground. Diving on the loose ball in the end goal area is Williams. And Williams forces the ball as the siren goes in the background. Manly are back in the winner's circle. They defeated Eastern Suburbs by 18 points to 10.
Last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year, it'll be even better. The battle for the Winfield Cup. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. 'Cause whether unknown or famous, you gotta give it all you got. That season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
The Sunday State Bank big game, Canterbury Bankstown versus Cronulla, had the Jack Gibson coached Cronulla Sharks up against the team that are very quickly becoming the yardstick in the world of rugby league in Sydney, Canterbury Bankstown. As we go to Belmore Sports Ground, this is going to give us a very good assessment of Cronulla's chances in 1987.
The State Bank big game presents the Winfield Cup.
Welcome to Belmore Sports Ground for today's Winfield Cup clash between Canterbury Bankstown and Cronulla Sutherland. And after their hard-fought win over Manly last Monday, it was a happy Cronulla dressing room.
Craig, it must now be a very confident Cronulla side. Those semi-finals are certainly looking well and surely within your sights.
Yeah, I can't believe the way we keep coming back from the dead. Every game we've won this year, we've come from behind. I think it shows a lot of guts in the club and a lot of guts in the players out there too.
I don't know how was old Peter diving this afternoon. Got any fingernails left, Peter?
No, I'm starting to become a real Cronulla follower now with the way that they keep coming back. And I think that Cronulla have been together for 3 years now. They don't chop and change. They're a real team side and they all play for each other and play for their club. So that's why they win games.
Only 2 points separate the teams, with Cronulla on 12 and Canterbury on 10 after 8 competition rounds. The Bulldogs team lineup today is Potter, Campbell, Hagan, Farrar, Frendale, Lamb, Mortimer, captain, Langmack, Folkes, Gillespie, Jarvis, Bugden, Tunks. And their coach is Warren Ryan. With the Cronulla Sharks, their team is Docking, Coleman, Eddinghausen, McGaw, Watson, Speechley, Quinn, Nixon, captain, Diamond, Staines, Sorensen, Miller and Porter, and their coach is Jack Gibson. A magnificent sunny afternoon for the match between Cronulla and Canterbury. Cronulla kicking off. They'll be running from right to left. Canterbury will be receiving the ball. They're in their blue and white uniform. The Cronulla side, sky blue, black and white bands. Sean Watson to kick off. Graeme Hughes on the sideline. How do you see it?
I'm expecting Canterbury to win the game. Cronulla are certainly on a roll at the present time. There's no dominant breeze here to affect this game whatsoever. A game that should be purely simply won or lost in the forwards in the first half.
That's the way I see it too. Now we've had the kick-off, gone straight to Alan Farah. Andrew Farah, he gets the kick well downfield. The fullback Docking's going to be ringed around with this. He's been... Now he runs. Well, they were with, I thought, just a bare 10 yards there, but that's the way the referee saw that one. McGaw now pounding it up. A little bit of punching going in there by the look of it. And the kick through by Speechley. And that's a great kick too, right from the outset to get Canterbury back on their heels. Very, very good one. There's the State Bank replay indicating the extent of the kick. Impossible for a winger, Frendo, to take that. Now this scrum going down on the Canterbury Bankstown quarter line. Steve Mortimer to feed. Okay, in she goes and out she goes. It's off to Mortimer. Mortimer goes round the open side of the ruck. He's buried by the lock forward there, Nixon. Out to Farah. Farah, a big handful today for this Cronulla Sutherland pair of Eddinghausen and McGaw. Still trying to take the ball around the ruck. Now it goes back to Lamb. He gets his foot to it, kicks it downfield. Plenty of probing going on at the moment. Docking had a unfortunate bounce, has to attempt to run it back, and the lineup was there in numbers. About 6 of them all in a line. Nixon away to Watson. He's pinged off straight away with a tackle by Langmack. Diamond most people expecting him to run wide of the ruck as he has been doing. I suggest that'll create a weakness in the centre of their forward strength should he do that. Kick through has been put there by Canterbury, and Frendo has it 10 metres his own side of the halfway line. Porter away to Mortimer, out to Campbell. Campbell goes straight ahead, but the defence is strong. Up they come on the blind side. No, it's gone back to the open, knocked on there, and that's the first error of the match, with the Canterbury side coming up with a knock-on. Here's the ball thrown out on the open side, hits him on the knee, apparently. The referee saw otherwise. Out to Speechley. Speechley to McGaw. McGaw tries to stand far up and gets very much rolled around in the tackle there, and he's lost the ball. I predict that Farah will be a problem for these two. He's a very direct player, forward strength. McGaw and Eddinghausen, the two whiz kids at the moment of the Cronulla side and the Rugby League. Out to Farah. Goes around Speechley, dead easy. Gets beyond the halfway line. Lamb's at dummy half. Gives it to Gillespie. Gillespie goes through 1, 2. Going sideways, still standing. Gets a pass away. It's gone to ground. Came off the chest of a Canterbury player and went back to Cronulla. Here's Porter. Running slightly diagonally, and that's a danger for him. He needs to be running straight and hard. Like Sorensen. 2 yards forward is better than 7 or 8 yards sideways. Quinn. Oh, long cut-out pass there given. And they drive that particular player Docking back about 3 metres. Ron Quinn. Well, the Canterbury pack all over them at the moment in terms of keeping the ball under control, but I still sense that this Canterbury pack are getting on top even in this early stage. Graeme Hughes?
They certainly are getting on top. It's some sort of intensity in their game today that might have been missing against South Sydney. That loss is sort of going to sting them into some real form today. Interesting tactics from the last scrum that Canterbury fed, that they brought Andrew Farrer to the 5/8 position to take on Michael Speechley, somewhat of a smaller player. Look for that whenever Steve Mortimer is feeding the scrum.
Okay, here's the first penalty of the match. The tap restart from Watson. He does it now, gives it away there to Gavin Miller. He goes sideways. He's got two sides of the ruck to work. Nixon, Quinn, Speechley. Beautiful pass to McGaw, caught by the collar. He's upended there, about 5 metres inside the Canterbury quarter. Oh, Staines came in for some very hard work on that occasion. Back to Gavin Miller, onto Quinn. Quinn there gets a pass away, but the player couldn't make any progress. There's the diagonal kick through, but it's gone very, very square. It didn't go forward, and it was picked off easily by Langmack. Steve Mortimer. Running very well. Gets to the quarter. Terry Lamb. Out to Jarvis. Jarvis driven sideways with the force of that tackle. Porter was the man that did it. Farrer gets his kick down diagonally. Again, it's going to be Docking who'll have to run for it. He's got it back near his quarter. Now he comes up. Feeds it to the wing three-quarter, and he's tackled perilously close to the sideline. Quinn. Diamond. Referee waving the Canterbury players back. Quinn. Speechley. McGaw. Staines standing out very wide among the centres to fill in. That kick has been come off the side of his foot and also off a opposition player, so Speechley starting the game in a sort of a random fashion. He's had one very good kick and that one not so good. Well, you saw that. That was Steve Mortimer trying to get the ball acrobatically. It bounced very erratically for him, and he was the ball taken away from him. Now come Cronulla with Staines on the move up to the halfway line. Eddinghausen at dummy half. Out to Gavin Miller, onto Dane Sorensen on the serve. Made about another 5 metres gain there. Gavin Miller. Nixon. Head jolts back as the Pat Jarvis came in very, very strongly from head on. Out to Diamond. Diamond standing very wide, as indeed was Staines on the occasion of the last Cronulla three-quarter line thrust. Well, that to me just looks like, if we can see that again on the State Bank replay, that just looks to me like anxious moments. An awful pass thrown. They're just trying to get rid of the ball away from the ruck area. Trying to get it away outside. So now we've got a player being cautioned at the moment. Looks like David Gillespie and Craig Diamond are the two there that are going to be called on to answer for their misdemeanours. All right, so nothing came of that. So we've got a scrum going down 5 metres into Canterbury's half. Out to Steve Mortimer. On to Terry Lamb. Terry Lamb goes straight, gets over the halfway line. Mortimer running again. Picked off, 2 metres gain. Mark Bugden. And Folks has driven down hard. Mark Bugden back to the blind side, onto Jarvis. Craig Diamond puts him down. Terry Lamb looks for the grubber kick along the sideline. It's a beauty, a gain of about 40 metres. And, well, it's actually about 44 metres there. So have a look at that on the State Bank replay. It'll get you an idea of the distance gain. And this scrum will put Canterbury in a very advantageous position. There's Docking coming away with the ball and gets very close to getting through. He got through one tackle, was on the way to getting through another. And there's a penalty. Failure to get away from the tackle player, Andrew Farrer. There's McGaw. He's gained some ground with his kicks today. This fellow, he's only been on the field, as all of them have, about 9 minutes. He's had 3 kicks for touch, which have all been excellent. Okay, Gavin Miller. Just retained the ball there, no attempt to get a pass away. Nixon. Oh, runs into a brick wall of defence there. Jarvis was one. Gavin Miller. Player tackle without the ball there in a conventional tackle, but referee wisely has allowed play to proceed on. That was Ron Quinn who was down. Onto Gavin Miller. Gavin Miller loses the ball. It's gone out to Speechley. Speechley's got 3 men outside him. He puts his head down and goes on his own. The last tackle coming up now. There's the kick across field. It's been taken again by Folkes, who's found himself in the ground in the right spot. And here again is that particular incident with Folkes going down to it. Now the play comes back to Ron Quinn there. He was tackled illegally, but not shall we say in a bad fashion. He was tackled illegally, taken out of the play when he was suspected of getting the ball. Graeme Hughes, did you get a look at that?
I did get a look at it. Gavin Miller was the man that was going to unload on the occasion to Ronnie Quinn. And Paul Langmack's the man that comes in. One of those line balls. He obviously thought he was going to receive the ball. Just a dummy from Miller, and it looks as though Langmack, the way the referee has raced back upfield for this incident, is going to pay the penalty for it. Should be a potted goal here for Cronulla.
Okay, so there was no intention, as I saw it, to do it illegally. It was a shoulder charge and in the chest area. But I don't think he'll be moved from the field. But we'll wait to see what the referee does on this particular occasion. So it's going to be a penalty to Cronulla. So Langmack there taking the odds to taking a player out of the line, and he didn't get the ball. Okay, now we've got Sean Watson, Sean Watson rather. That's the way he likes his name pronounced, S-E-A-N. We've got no ball there at the moment. Well, we need to get a ball, lads. Somebody do something. There it is. 3 straight penalties to Cronulla in the opening 10.5 minutes. Now Watson is about 13 metres out from the quarter. He's almost in the middle of the field. The breeze apparently has freshened us slightly. Apparently those flags are blowing pretty hard from the northern end. Moves in now off a short run. Strikes the ball. It looks to me to be away to the right. So the score remains 0-0 in the Winfield Cup match between Cronulla and Canterbury Bankstown. Andrew Farrow gets it away. Then Coleman, the man that received it, only made about 15 metres. Quinn, Diamond. They're taking a bit of paying a bit of attention to Diamond. Anytime he runs, he's got a tackle around his legs and one around his chest. He's been designated as a danger man. Gavin Miller kicks, and that's out by a foot. Just out. Yes, those lower grade results today came at this crowd in a fairly good fashion. Canterbury Bankstown under 23s, 24. Cronulla Sutherland 2. And Canterbury Bankstown reserve grade 22. Cronulla 8. Okay, that's to within about 11 metres of the quarter line. Let's see what Canterbury can do with a bit of ball now. Duggan, Mortimer, Lamb. Farrell, running. Very strong, very hard player, very difficult player to tackle. Bugden goes from dummy half. He goes within about half a metre. Folks at dummy half now. He's still short of the line. Tucks away to Mortimer. Mortimer gets the grubber kick into the end goal. It's a race for the ball. And the ball beats everybody over the dead ball line. Steve Mortimer trying the little grubber kick through, but he kicked it too far forward, not diagonal enough, and it beat everybody over the dead ball line. Nixon. Away to Miller. Well, Gavin Miller was taken right out of the play there too. In a legitimate tackle. Diamond right through, going strongly, still going, looks on the inside. The pass went to Porter, but he couldn't handle it. That was the first break that's been made by either side. And there's the replay. You can see the momentum he gained during the surge. The pass came too fast to Porter, hit him on the chest and rebounded. Okay, that was the State Bank replay. Now we've got Canterbury in possession. Out to Peter Tucks. Gets a one-handed reverse pass away. Gillespie's gone up the sideline, going strongly, pushing players off. They finally come at him and put him down. That was Andrew Eddinghouse, and there's Peter Tucks has gone for the ball. Docking gets to it. Has evaded his tackle, comes up with a good run and a gain of about 8 metres. Speechley a dummy half. He goes for another canter for 5 or 6 metres. Docking. Staines stands in the tackle, looking for support. Now Nixon tries his luck with a kick, and it will be a beauty. That is a very delicately done little kick. Little left footer down the sideline, didn't go very high, and sharp break to the left over the sideline. Still no score in this match between Canterbury and Cronulla. At Belmore, we've had 15 minutes of play. Steve Mortimer goes the open side of the scrum. Lamb cuts out Potter, goes to Farah. Farah stands, or tries to stand his man up, but can't do that. Potter. Jarvis away to Hagan. Jarvis now through the meat of the ruck, but the Cronulla players that infringed the 5 yards. And Pat Jarvis apparently has hurt himself. No, he's okay. Yes, they looked fairly close to being inside the 5 there. The kick for touch by Farah, who's going at the moment without the sleeve in his right shirt. Bugden charges forward to the quarter. On the blind side goes Langmack. Langmack tackled there. Mortimer. Folks. Lamb. Moving it out nicely to Haig. The pass is knocked down, and Sean Watson, remembering everything he was taught at school, goes on with it and sprints away, but play the whistle is the obvious answer. The referee may not have seen the incident. He knocked it down, so he had to be called back, but he did the right thing in going on. Scrum going down on the Cronulla Sutherland quarter. Inside flick to Peter Langmack. Gillespie. Bugden, Lamb, still going, use the referee as a shield there, beats 2 or 3, but he's mainly gone diagonally in that run. Gillespie, Folks, underneath a high tackle, and has been cautioned on the run as Gavin Miller. Stephen Mortimer. Oh, straight under the post goes Langmack. Through the big dummy on the outside, a great try to Langmack. And that'll be an easy conversion for their kicker. Let's see it again on the State Bank replay. And here it comes with Mortimer giving it to Langmack. He goes the big dummy to Tunks. Tunks gets taken out and then he races forward and gets to the in-goal area and places the ball very firmly. Again, from a low-down camera, throws the big dummy, steps on the inside and comes and grounds the ball perfectly. Graeme Hughes.
Magnificent dummy by Paul Langmack. Not just Michael Speechley, but all the cover defence, Dane Sorensen, Jonathan Docking, all went missing, and Ronnie Quinn nearly brought up a great try-saving tackle with great performance by Langmack.
OK, Terry Lamb now from directly in front, 10 metres out, and he'll have the simplest of conversion attempts. 4-0, Canterbury lead. Moves in now and strikes the ball. It's there, right out of the ground. So Canterbury lead 6 points to 0 over Cronulla here in Belmore. Back they come now with Cronulla to kick off, and interesting to note that Terry Lamb has kicked 18 goals so far this year. Watson kicks off. Potter races forward, takes it on the first bounce. Potter's dropped the ball. It's picked up by Gavin Miller, given to Staines. Staines gets inside the quarter. Now Cronulla, can they do something with it? Monty Porter's son makes a surge forward for that giant blue headgear of his. Gavin Miller on a Diamond. Diamond goes very hard and very straight, trying to come on the burst. Gavin Miller. Speechley getting through one tackle. On to McGaw. McGaw gets away to Sorensen. Sorensen gets it on to Diamond, and Diamond is only about 6 inches away underneath the posts. Speechley got a grab a kick in. This will be a chase, and it's a try to Docking, I believe. Yes, indeed. I believe Jonathan Docking was the man that came up with that try. We'll see it again. The kick through by Speechley. The chase is on. We will see, and it is Docking. Jonathan Docking, so the Sharks strike straight back. The little grubber kick as he's taken out of the play as he was actually falling, and Docking showed a great turn of pace to beat Campbell to that touchdown. Graeme Hughes.
Plenty of character in this Cronulla side in 1987. They fought back very, very well. They fought back supremely well against Manly Warrignah last week, and Michael Speechley, plenty of intelligence shown there with that little kick through and plenty of chases. The enthusiasm in this Cronulla side is outstanding. OK, so now can Watson convert the goal? Or convert the try, rather, by kicking this goal and keeping them on level terms. We've had 17 minutes of play. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He shortens that down to 3 on the way in. 1, 2, 3. Strikes it well, and it's a goal. So Canterbury and Cronulla are locked at 6-all at Belmore Oval. Well, the Canterbury forwards started very well, but they've just gone slightly into their shell. All the Canterbury ones have come alive. Here's Gillespie. He's the most damaging, and there's Mortimer right into the clear. He's kicked ahead, taken out of it, and that will be a penalty to Canterbury Bankstown. And do I detect a rather sluggish Steve Mortimer on that occasion, Graeme Hughes? Well, I don't know about a sluggish Steve Mortimer. He may not have got to the football. He's certainly not as quick as he was in the past, but I've got my doubts as to whether that should have been a penalty. To my way of thinking, Jonathan Docking very simply fell over. He attempted to get to his feet, and Steve Mortimer stumbled over him. I wouldn't have felt that that was intentional on the behalf of Docking.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've seen it again on the replay, and there was no intent by Docking to get up. As a matter of fact, he had his back turned to Steve Mortimer. But The referee, probably like myself, was watching the kick ahead, and he's deduced that when he's looked around and seen the player on the ground, he's looked and seen what he thought was a deliberate attempt to take him out of the play. Anyway, it gives Canterbury the opportunity to gain another 2 points from directly in front. Terry Lamb. It's a goal. So there's another 2 with 10 minutes to go to the half-time break. But I noticed with interest that the scoreboard attendant had got 8 points to 6 up there before that kick was taken. Now back to Bugden, onto Mortimer. Little kick through. He's got it again. On that occasion, he was not tackled, so it was right for Tunks to go straight ahead and get the pass onto Lamb. Lamb has evaded that tackle, and he goes on and scores. Good one. Terry Lamb has backed up big Peter Tunks and scored a very, very good solo try. And see the action again. Steve Mortimer, the kick, the chase, even though he might be fractionally slower, he still got to that, gave the pass. At this point, he was not held, so he could give it off the ground. The referee waved that it was okay. Was given straight to Peter Tunks. Tunks got the pass away to Jarvis. Watson tried to dive. Docking caught him just on the line. Graeme Hughes, what did you think of that one?
Well, this is one of the Stevie Mortimer specials that he always reserves for Belmore Sports Ground. He might be slower these days over, say, 50, but he's still got the pace over the initial 20 metres. And it's been a long time coming by the Canterbury Bankstown side. Whenever a break's been made by either Mortimer and Terry Lamb only moments ago, the support wasn't there. And the support on this occasion was great backing up from the front rower and the greatest finisher in the game, Terry Lamb.
Yes, indeed. Terry Lamb has come up with another try to give him 6 for the season, and an equally simple attempted goal. 12 points to 6 at the moment. Lamb strikes that well, and there's another 2 points, so that starts to get the score going for them. 14 points to 6. Canterbury lead Cronulla here at Belmore Sports Ground. Mahuta will go any second. Nixon. And there it is. So at the half-time break, we've got a scoreline that reads 14 points to Canterbury, Cronulla, Sutherland 6. Steve Mortimer feeds it. It's in and out. Out to Andrew Farah. He's beaten one defender. Got around Speechley. Hagan, Lamb, 3 there to handle him. Speechley was the main one. He was the tackle around the legs. Potter. He's still got it. Jarvis. He hasn't made an error today, Pat Jarvis, and he's been ploughing forward on all occasions. Stephen Folkes. Bugden. Steve Mortimer. Peter Tunks. Well, did he have a look? Let's see that again on the State Bank replay, and we'll see. I suspect he did, probably. Just a brief look. Steve Mortimer, he's off and he's going to score. Oh, yeah. Well, that's brought the crowd alive, and he's just gone right underneath the posts. With the base of the scrum around and through, and the State Bank replay will show it very clearly. Steve Mortimer. There he comes. The head-on shot, just nobody at home. And that was how easy it was. Read it and weep. Cronulla absolutely destitute of defence on that occasion. I think you were right, Graeme Hughes. He might have lost a touch of pace, but still magnificent over 15 or 20 yards. Graeme.
He certainly is. The full credit there also to the pack of forwards. They screwed the scrum for him. They took the cover defence of the lock and the second rowers away from the open side of play, and the gap was there. The fullback was up on the blind side, and he only had the 20 metres to run, and didn't he enjoy it?
He certainly did, and it's interesting to note that Terry Lamb, Steve Mortimer and Paul Langmack have scored all the tries. The three that constitute, shall we say, the attacking portion of the team. Those three have each scored a try, and Lamb is about to make it 4 goals from 4 attempts. Moves in now, and successful. 32 points in 1987. Terry Lamb has scored, and he'll increase that tally today. Make no bones about it. Canterbury 20, Cronulla 6. In and out. Mortimer. Well, now we've got an injury to Steve Mortimer. Apparently they're going to call for a team talk here while he's being treated. And there's the action on the State Bank replay. A heavy tackle from Docking. Well, they come thick and fast, the surprises at other games. We had Canberra leading 22-0. Parramatta are now 20. Canberra are 22, so they've scored 20 points in the space of 15 minutes, or 20 minutes. Terry Lamb out to Jarvis, Jarvis onto Folks. Yeah, those crowd figures you've got, Graeme, are they interesting?
12,884.
12,884 people, eh? Not bad at all. Mortimer, Lamb does the kick downfield. The chase is on. It's going to go close to the line. No, it's not. Sandy Campbell's there with it. Evades him. No, he doesn't. The little fella, Ron Quinn, did his level best to get out of there, but he couldn't. David Hatchett, 22. Oh, gee, I'd hate to be on the end of a pass like that, David. Don't give me one like that, whatever you do. Oh, there's a try coming up to... Oh, gee whiz, that was terribly close. The pass was knocked down. It was going to be a knock-on anyway, so the referee didn't... he wasn't called upon to make a ruling. But it was terribly close. That hand went out there. All right, Cronulla get the ball in. It's out. Steve Mortimer's there and has fallen over. I think he's got cramp in his feet. Docking runs away from 1, 2. Tackled on the quarter line. Now Porter. Gavin Miller. 5 metres outside the quarter. Porter. Hatch. Beautiful quick hands out to Watson. Watson comes back on the inside. He goes upfield, gets towards the halfway line where he's tackled by Terry Lamb. Dane Sorensen goes back the blind side. Hatch. Nixon gives it to Docking. Docking has got that incredible pace. There was a dive there by Steve Mortimer, was picked him off. That sort of situation when you dive and get a player at full length like that can be very, very shocking to you because you're not expecting it. You've gone past the defender and suddenly you're brought down. Potter weaving back. And the crowd loved that good diagonal run from Michael Potter. Terry Lamb comes up with a strong tackle, with a strong run. Mark Bugden onto Peter Tunks. Gets a flick pass away, backhanded and one-handed. Very slow to his feet is Steve Mortimer. Jarvis stands in a tackle. Gets it away to Folks, and Folks is put away. Hagan. Now Lamb goes kicking downfield. It's been taken and dropped by Dorohey, by Docking. Docking gets Campbell and Hagan, the defenders there. Another Canterbury change.
Michael Reid in 25 has moved to the sideline. Jeff Bugden will come off, and judging from the antics of Stevie Mortimer the last 5 minutes, it may not be too long before he gets an early shower.
Okay, 20 points to 6. Some changes now about to be made in the Canterbury side. He's still standing out there. Canterbury go out to Watson. Watson's up the sideline. Now he's up towards the halfway line where he's picked off. That was Steve Mortimer there with a perfect covered offensive tackle. Out to Gavin Miller. He was trying to get somebody to come straight and hard on his pass. He was running diagonally. Speechley back inside to McGaw. McGaw kicks downfield. It'll go to Frendale, where he's tackled effectively too by Coleman and David Hatch. Hagan. Jarvis. Another Canterbury change.
It was, as I was just about to say, Jason Alshan has now moved from the reserve bench to the sideline, and the man to come off will be the captain, Steve Mortimer.
Okay, well, Steve Mortimer must... there's a pass back on the inside to Potter. Potter's got support on the outside to Terry Lamb, and Lamb's going to go all the way and score a try. He does! Terry Lamb coming up with try number 2. And a good one it was. The State Bank replay will show how good Michael Potter was the man. Stephen Folkes got the pass back on the inside to him, and Potter was able to go through the defence, even though they're a man short, time his pass perfectly to Terry Lamb. And the little bloke has the bandy little legs going hard and the strong body, and he goes in to score his second try. Graeme Hughes.
Great football by Canterbury. Great pass back in from Paul Langmack. They worked the short blind side, and Michael Potter's been in outstanding form all afternoon, and a great try again. We continue to say it. He's always there. It's like nothing on earth. Terry Lamb, probably the best finisher, as I said, in the game of rugby league.
Terry Lamb getting the accolade from the crowd here, and Steve Mortimer getting a big round of applause, and Mark Bugden. Now Terry Lamb to take the kick at goal. Can he be successful with 5 from 5? Now he moves in. He's kicked it. 2 tries and 5 goals from 5 attempts. That's the score for Terry Lamb today. 7 tries. He scored, equal leading try scorer in 87. Watson gets the ball away again into the play. We've got 12 minutes to go. Farah. Well, plenty of the crowd are starting to believe it's all over. Peter Tunks coming forward. Jarvis applying himself to some good, strong running. Well, Terry Lamb's just gone very, very close to, and he's got them all offside. Inside the required distance around the player that takes the ball, and that'll be a penalty to Cronulla Sutherland. And now a change in the Cronulla side, Graeme.
Same one as made earlier. Scott Gustard in 19 going back on. Michael Speechley off yet again.
Well, the best thing about Cronulla's game has been the line kicking of Watson. He's kicked with monumental skill and great technical expertise to make a lot of ground with his kicks. Gillespie's back on at the moment too, yes. All right, now Hatch has got it. Out to Diamond. He's had the ball stolen from him by Terry Lamb. Out to Farah. Farah's gone up towards the quarter line where he's surrounded by defenders. Quickly to his feet. Well, Jarvis can't be gainsaid. He wants to get involved in the scoring action the way he's going. Elchin, Langmack, Tunks. Gets a pass away. And that's the very first ball that Pat Jarvis has dropped in today's encounter. It took 68 minutes for him to do it. The penalties have gone Cronulla, Sutherland 9, Canterbury 3. And Canterbury received none in the second half. Gustard running from dummy half. Porter. Staines. Still tackling as enthusiastically as when the game started. Back on the inside. Sorensen upended there. Porter from dummy half. Way to Gavin Miller. The kick. Fielded just inside the quarter. Gets it away to Campbell, who's gone upfield, searching for an opening. Looks for support, gets a pass away there. Tux was on the end of that. Lamb kicking for position. There's a race on for the ball. Watson gets to it just inside the field of play. Another Canterbury change, Graeme Hughes.
Paul Dunn in 24. The man to come off will be Stephen Folkes this time.
Okay. What a replacement to bring on at this late stage. Porter going from dummy half. It's been all Canterbury Bankstown. The second half, they've been merciless. There's been no shortage of defenders, power tackling. And he's going to be penalised for that. Diamond very foolishly didn't think he had a marker in front of him when he got up and stood slightly off centre. And he was penalised. And this will give Lamb the opportunity to make it 6 out of 6. Well, Stephen Folkes is from the field and Paul Dunn will go on the field. There's no doubt about the crowd up here. They're very appreciative of their football heroes. Terry Lamb from just off the field. Now Sargent, I believe, is on for Peter Tunks.
Mark Sargent in 26, Rex, is the one, and the crowd get a chance again to let Peter Tunks know how they thought about his performance.
Well, they do really outshine any other supporters in Sydney in that area. Now Terry Lamb, can he make it 6 out of 6? One, two, three, four. It's unsuccessful. So he's human. He missed one. 5 goals from 6 attempts and 2 tries. That's not a bad tally. All right, well, we've got Cronulla now getting down to the dying stages of this match with nothing to show for their efforts except a solitary try. It's Paul Dunn. Brings it back to the beyond the halfway line. Andrew Farrer, very powerful player. Jason Alchin trying to weave and step. Out to Terry Lamb. That beautiful pass there of Langmax, where he sucks the defender to him. And there again is the result of his kick. Another gain and putting them within just a few metres. Here's Langmack on the State Bank replay. Taken right out of the play there. It's a Cronulla scum win. They got it away to Glenn Coleman. He's the leading try scorer for the season. Comes midfield from the right wing. Not been able to show his pace at all this afternoon. Quinn. Now Porter. Porter, with great effort, manages to get to within 3 metres of the quarter line. Staines. Little kick over the top. And as you can see, the referee has ruled that to have been a knock-on by Andrew Eddinghausen, actually. So with the crowd really starting to disperse now as the game is just about over, Alchin takes the scrum and goes, takes the ball and goes round the open side of the scrum. Lamb goes to dummy half. He's got it out to Potter. Potter gets it back on the inside there to Hagan. Not going anywhere at the moment. Just in low gear at the moment. There's Sargent on the surge. Gets towards the quarter line. 26 points to 6. Alchin. Langmack. Cut out pass to Campbell. Selectively away to Hagan. Potter. Very graciously accepted by a Cronulla player, that pass from Potter. Well, I've got to say that Cronulla have been vastly disappointing this afternoon, but that doesn't take anything away from Canterbury's performance, which has been solid and dependable. Without any drama or any fuss, they've gone ahead with the job of demolishing this, the young pretenders, and they've done a damn good job of it. 4 tries and 5 goals in the space of 80 minutes is a commendable effort. And there's a kick being put down and a gain of about 25-30 yards. And they've got so much depth in their club at the moment. One could probably criticise the depth of their 3 quarters, but the depth of their forwards is just unbelievable. Now the scrum goes down. Alchin works it. The penalty's gone against Alchin for using his leg as a means of blocking the opposition there in that set scrum. Watson's kick is a good one. Now, can they score another try? That's the answer to the conundrum. Docking. There's a good pass there to Gustard. Gustard goes within 7 metres of the line. Injury time, we're in now. Mark McGaw running strongly, and he's there. It's a try. Mark McGaw has scored a try right at the end of the action. No, he's awarded the try. There's no question about it. Mark McGaw reached, was given the ball on the blind side. Here he goes on the swivel. Gets a pass. He gets that great long arm of his, and I believe he got that ball down. We'll have another look and we'll see it on another angle. It's McGaw doing the classic swivel. Goes through the tackle of Frendo. Yes, I believe he probably did. In injury time, Cronulla have gone a little bit closer, 26 points to 10 with a kick at goal to follow. Your views on that, Graeme? Mark McGaw, age 22. Is Watson. Takes the kick. And it's unsuccessful. 26 points to 10. Canterbury lead. Cronulla. As the Canterbury side come back towards the halfway line, taking their time about it. They've done it all today. Andrew Farrow's the leader of the push as he comes back towards the halfway line. I've certainly given this Cronulla side a salutary lesson in steady football. Andrew Farrow to kick off. Jonathan Docking takes it well. And he's immediately decked. There he goes again. Gavin Miller. Gustard. About 15 metres out from the quarter line. Staines. There's the hooter. An merciful release, one would think, for the Cronulla side in a match that had them looking for ways but having no ideas on how to go about beating this Canterbury side. The try scorers for the Canterbury side have been Lamb 2, Langmack and Mortimer, and Lamb 5 goals from 6 attempts. Docking, McGaw have scored tries for the Cronulla side, and Watson has been their solitary goal scorer. 26 points to 10.
Big point-scoring weekend of Winfield Cup football. Let's go to all the highlights of all the other games.
At Penrith Park, the Panthers were eager to make it 2 in a row, and it didn't take long for them to strike first blood. Mark Bevan opened the Panthers' account. Then it was the Bears' turn. Andrew Simons, with a great intercept, streaks 80 metres for an intercept try, and North Sydney led by 6 points to 4. Then it was left to the Little Panthers captain, Greg Alexander. The halfback broke through the Bears' defence to put Penrith back in the lead. They led 13-6 at the break, and midway through the second half, Alexander struck again to put paid to any chance of North Sydney winning the match. The Bears managed to put it together in the dying minutes of the match when replacement player Gary Larson scored in the corner, but the Bears' fight back was all too late. The final scoreline at Penrith Park, Penrith 19, North Sydney 10. At Leichhardt Oval, Ross Conlon had a big day for the bird-kicking Balmain to an early lead and winning the race to register 100 points for the season. Rival hookers Benny Elias and Billy Johnston got 5 minutes in the sin bin for their dispute. And at the same time, referee Barnes sin bin Sirenen and win. It was while the teams were playing with 11 men each that Scott Gale showed why he's one of the fastest men in the league, with a scorching run to the try line to give Balmain a 10-4 lead. But then the St George showed what they're capable of, with Beattie sent in off a Graham Wynn pass. Shortly afterwards, John Fafita was put into a gap, and Brian Johnston was there in support to dash away, and at half-time, Saints led by 16 points to 14 over the competition leaders. The Tigers trailed 18-16 when the bomb went up, and Hanron was the first man there to ground the ball, and Balmain were back in the lead. Balmain scored further tries through Hanrahan and Sigsworth, and Conlon kicked 8 goals in their 32-18 victory to stay on top of the Winfield Cup. At the Parramatta Stadium, Parramatta lost big winger Eric Groth after 4 minutes, continuing the horror run for the big winger in 87. But with a run from dummy half just 8 minutes later, Steve Wallace exposed some dreadful Parramatta defence. His brother Kevin loomed in support before delivering the final pass to Ivan Henjak. Canberra scored another 2 tries, and then just before half-time, Peter Jackson crossed, and the Raiders held what seemed to be a match-winning lead of 22 points to 0. But then we saw an amazing Parramatta comeback in the second half. Don Price, the replacement, scored after just 2 minutes. Then just a minute later, Mike Eden made a tremendous bust upfield. Lindner loomed in support, and the lock forward showed exceptional pace in outsprinting the cover defence. Shortly afterwards, Lindner scored his second try, and John Muggleton made no mistake from the touchline with an amazing kick. Parramatta now trailed by only 2 points. The Eels had the lead for the first time when Neil Hunt crossed wide out on the corner, and when Ken Wolfe scored only 5 minutes from the end, the Eels had made an amazing comeback. Final score, Parramatta 30, Canberra 22. Meantime, out at Arana Park, the Magpies dominated the first half action against Illawarra. First blood was drawn in the 33rd minute when Philip Duke backed up a great run by John Allenson to cross under the post. And Schubert's 4 goals in the first 40 minutes gave the Magpies a handy 12-2 lead at the break. But whatever Illawarra coach Brian Smith fed the Steelers at half-time, it had the required effect, as they stormed back in the second half, keeping the Magpies scoreless. In contrast, the Steelers turned into a point-scoring machine, racing in 5 second-half tries, chalking up 30 points in the final 40 minutes, just as the Eels had done at Parramatta Stadium. Dean Carney chimed in with a personal tally of 20 points, with 2 tries and 6 goals from as many attempts. West coach Steve Goshen must have left Arana Park pondering on what had happened in the final 40 minutes as the Magpies stay as the cellar dwellers after 9 rounds of the Winfield Cup.
I trust you've enjoyed all the action. Until next week, I'm Graeme Hughes. Goodbye for now.
Every week they're at it, never daring to let up. 'Cause winning's the only thing that counts when you're playing for the Winfield Cup. It doesn't matter if you're famous or a youngster making his way. There's only one thing that matters, and that's how well you play.